Good day, good day. Today is June 11th, 2024 is my best guess. I did not put on the lapel, so please excuse the noise in the background. Sounds like I have a freaking tambourine in the back. Of course. It is day 65. And on the way to the Job, 4:40 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's nice that it gets light out now as I'm leaving, as opposed to being pitch black. So yeah, just checking in. We have been on the journey discussing child support. So I've taken that on, that social justice issue, I'll say. I think it's really vital and really important. Also, we've been discussing a lot about relationships between men and women. If you haven't checked those out, look back in the archives. I post to YouTube and to Facebook, and I think Instagram even. Not really getting the response that I'm looking for, but hey, it's early on. I think the child support issue is a major issue. It's underestimated, the amount of suffering that is had by men through the system, including the loss of driver's license, being jailed, taken away from your family, suicide. They don't even talk about that. But it becomes a hopeless, at least appears, in appearance, becomes a very hopeless situation. In that the economy already is unstable. Can you imagine, on top of that, losing the operating privilege for a motor vehicle? So, getting around town or whatever becomes an obstacle. And interception of taxes and garnishment of your paycheck. If you can imagine yourself being in that situation, knowing that they already take 40% of your payment or your paycheck in taxes alone, and then having to pay your bills, there's hardly anything left. And it's getting worse and worse as inflation increases, right? So now add to that scenario that most Americans have to deal with and are complaining. Again, the loss of your driving privileges, jail, being jailed, not because, you committed a crime against somebody or hurt somebody or whatever. No, because you failed to make a payment. Debtors' prisons actually were outlawed. So how they're able to do that, well, that's a whole different story. But it just becomes a very hopeless situation, and I actually aspire to look into the level of criminality and suicide involving child support. I actually want to look into that because I know they're sleeping on it. They don't want to report that number, but it's hard for men to operate in this society without potency, without a healthy sense of pride, without an ego. you know, that kind of makes up a man, you know what I mean? No man, I don't know any men that want to be portrayed as weak or incompetent, right? And that's what I contend that this system is really doing. So, in other considerations, we hit over the weekend, went on a bit of a bender, and you know, kind of stayed up longer than I wanted to, and what have you, and celebration and all this kind of stuff. So doesn't happen often, but it did this past weekend, and you know, obviously now you have to live with the results of that. So energy is a little low. You know, still did the workout yesterday. Wasn't terrible, but I certainly paid for my indiscretions. So we definitely want to curb that, the enthusiasm to replicate those. And I know, and I've recognized what, you know, brings those type of things on, those binges you go on where you just pull an all-nighter out of the blue, like just find yourself there, you know, and you know, life, we get overwhelmed in life, and you know, those negatives and positives don't balance out, and you find yourself anything but neutral, you know, or grounded and centered. You know, we all have those moments in time. Whatever, you know, your particular poison may be, we all have those moments in time. The important thing is, what do you do after? You know, are you picking up and getting going again, or are you staying down and perpetuating more destruction and allowing the negativities to increase? Or are you finding those positives to add to the equation in hopes of reaching neutrality? So, day 65, I think I said. This guy keeps speeding up, slowing down. Jeez. So we're moving forward is the point. I plan to, that guy looks like he's falling asleep. I plan to continue on the journey of basically overhauling child support. I think it's a public safety issue. But I think because of the systematic and legal enslavement of humans, it's conducive not to reveal the true harm and harms that this child support system has on human beings. I think they should let men be men and take care of their responsibilities, and I think that's something that men and women should be able to work out. And unless there is obviously extreme circumstances, but other than that, I think that we don't need government or governmental agencies nitpicking in the affairs familial affairs of the people. I think we've allowed government to grow too big and to have too much power, and we know it because we complain about it all the time. In different aspects of life, we complain about it, whether it's taxation or statutes, rules, etc., etc. We complain about it all the time, so I know it's true. Government has grown, and so there needs to be a check on the power, and in this case, the power of child support is what I'm saying. I'm not saying it needs to go away completely, but it does need an overhaul. There needs to be greater check on that power. And in closing, we need to bring a voice to men that are subjected to the child support system. With that being said, thank you for tuning in with me. Make it a great day, and I'll see you on the next upload. All right, don't forget to go over and find Mandemic, which is dealing with the issue of child support and the overhaul of that system. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.